Why did Apple make this switch in tactics?
I think it has to do with where this company is. I mean, this is not, Scarlett, the Apple that introduced the world to the Macintosh with that famous 1984 Super Bowl commercial. This is also not the same Apple that was very punchy, trying to grab some attention away from Microsoft with its Get a Mac campaign. This is a company, as you'll now see, which is focusing more on the brand. Even in this latest spot, you can barely see the Apple products. And I think this goes back to the overall story, which is that Apple's got some great products that do very well in the market, but everybody's still waiting for the next big thing for them. And even though there is a consulting firm, in this case, Ace Metrics, which says these ads are not proving to be as effective as some of the other in the industry right now, I think this ultimately becomes a story of how Apple's doing in the ad department versus some of the rivals. LA-based 72 and Sunny, which we profiled on Bloomberg West, they're getting a lot of attention, right, for the ads like the next big thing is already here, for being more creative. And obviously, we've seen Samsung selling a lot of devices, so they've got to be doing something right.
You know, John, it's curious because in this ad, an actor reads the company's corporate philosophy. This is not exactly a company that tends to brag about itself in that way. It's an interesting twist.
And I go back to the fact that they are in a tough position right now. I mean, the CEO, Tim Cook, keeps telling us there are big things coming from Apple. We've seen investors become impatient with the company because we're not seeing those products. How does that translate into your advertising strategy? If you're not out there pushing the next big product, I guess you can work on the branding of Apple overall, which, as we mentioned, is a much bigger company than in some of those earlier ad campaigns, has some issues around the world on the PR front that they have to deal with. And Bloomberg has even reported that without Steve Jobs there, sometimes they're not exactly sure what message they want to send. Bill Schiller, a senior executive there, the guy who basically calls the shots in the boardroom on where they're going, which direction. I think at the end of the day, if you've got cool new products to sell, whether they're wristwatches or televisions or whatever, that's what people get excited about. It's certainly what investors get excited about, and that's probably where their ads will ultimately be more effective. Good products tend to get people excited.
But to your point, John, about the timing of where Apple is right now, it needs those ads to resonate more than ever. It needs to get investors excited. It needs to get consumers excited. So talk about how much they're investing in marketing and just how important it is for them right now.
I mean, these are billions and billions of dollars that are being spent by this company, in part to also match what the competitors are doing. I think the marketing budget for Samsung last year eclipsed that of Apple by billions. And I think that, again, if you're Apple, can you afford to have a campaign that speaks more broadly to our PR image? Of course you can. If it doesn't resonate with viewers, you go back to the ones that say, hey, here's a new iPad or a colorful iPad, and here's the price tag, and you'll be excited about it. But new products do the best in terms of the marketing.